Okay, can we begin? Alright, so good morning to all of you. So this is tutorial 9, question number 1. Okay, so tutorial 9, question number 1, okay, is about the tax computation for the company. Right, so we will prepare the tax computation for the company. So which means that later on you will refer to this table for the income tax rate for the company lah. Okay, so finally we will use this table, okay, after you first use in the tutorial 1 before. Right, so we look at the requirement of the question, the one that I showed you just now. Okay, so the requirement of the question. So what's the meaning of the requirement of the question? Right, so for the company, you have to compute the income tax payable of the company name Gemilang Pharma Sdn Bhd for the year assessment 2023. Okay, and it's mentioned that the next sentence, every item mentioned in the notes to the account must be listed in your computation, irrespective of whether an adjustment is necessary. Where there is no adjustment is required, it indicates that you have to record nil in the appropriate column. So what's the meaning on the sentence? Okay, every item mentioned and then afterwards. Okay, so the meaning of the sentence, which means that all items that mentioned in the notes number 1 until notes number 13. Okay, in this question we have note number 1 until note number 13. Okay, everything mentioned in note number 1 until note number 13, you have to make a record. Okay, you have to make a record, right? If they have an adjustment, okay, if they have an adjustment, you have to record the amount in the correct column. Okay, if there is no adjustment, okay, you still have to record, but you have to record with the name of the nil. Okay, with the item name nil lah. Okay, if have adjustment, record the amount. Okay, right, in the correct column. And then if there is no adjustment, you have to record also, but you have to record with the name nil. Okay, to present that nil is no adjustment lah. But still, nil also you have to record in the correct column. Okay, both you have to record in the correct column lah. So this is a meaning of this sentence. Okay, so all items mentioned in the notes number 1 until notes number 13. In the this question, we have note number 1 until number 10. You have to record, okay, even though there is no adjustment needed. Okay, so that's the meaning of the sentence. Alright, so now we go for the question. Okay, we have Gemilang Pharma Sdn Bhd. Okay, if you have Microsoft Teams, you can open the version that I already upload here. Okay, I use the same version like this. Okay, alright, so we have the company name Gemilang Pharma Sdn Bhd. Okay, so first thing, when you see the question, you have to check what they are running the business for lah. Okay, right, what they are running the business for, what they are producing. Okay, so in this company, Gemilang Pharma Sdn Bhd operated as a manufacturing related to the pharmaceutical product and supplement product. So this is their main business. everything related to the manufacturing and distributing pharmaceutical product and the supplementary product, okay, we consider incurred in the production of the gross income. Okay, right, everything related to the pharmaceutical product and supplementary product, whether you manufacture or you distribute to the other seller, right? So which means that incurred in the production of the gross profit. Okay, first, right. Second thing, you have to check the accounting period of the company. Okay, why we check the accounting period of the company? To know whether it's incurred in the production period or not. Okay, so production period or accounting period for the company for the year assessment 2023 begin on 1st November 2022 and then it will be end after 12 months lah. Okay, on 31st October 2023. So this is the accounting period or production period for the Gemilang Pharma Sdn Bhd for the year assessment 2023. So, everything related to this date, we consider incurred in the production of the gross profit. Either, if out of the production period, so we not counted the amount lah. Okay, right? So, we already settled for the first part. Okay, first paragraph, you have to identify what they are running the business for. Okay, and then when is the accounting period or production period for the year assessment 2023 for the Gemilang Pharma Sdn Bhd. Okay, now, okay, when you prepare the tax composition for the company, of course, you are given the statement of comprehensive income lah. Okay, you refer to the statement of comprehensive income. Okay, so you will be given the statement of comprehensive income. Alright, so this is normal statement of comprehensive income where you start record the sales minus cost of sale, you get the gross profit, added income minus expenses, then you get the net profit before taxation. So, in order for us to make the adjustment in the taxation purpose, you will start with the amount of net profit before taxation. Okay, alright. So you will start to make the adjustment starting from this amount because all the amount of the income in SOCI you already added and all the amount of the expenses you already minus in arriving of net profit before taxation. So all the amount of income, all the amount of expenses already calculated and the result you get the net profit before taxation. So that's why we will start with the amount of net profit before taxation when we want to make the adjustment. So first thing first, okay, you have the template with you, right? So we will record the template. Okay, so we have 3 columns in the template. You will start with the net profit before taxation. Okay, net profit before taxation. So I put a shortcut. You write in the full lah. Right, so I see lah. Right, so we will start with the net profit before taxation. So we will start with 801,700. Okay, net profit before taxation. So we record in the third column. Okay, as I mentioned before, for the tax computation, basically we have 3 column lah, plus column, minus column, and the no symbol column. But I added another 1 column, notes, so that later on when you make a revision, you can check back lah. Okay, which adjustment in which notes. Right. Okay, so you can see that in the statement of comprehensive income, okay, you have the note number 1 until note number 12. So every transaction or every item in the SOCI have given you the notes, right? So we have to check one by one whether the item or the transaction have adjustment or not. Okay, so we see the first one, sales, note number 1. Okay, you already added the sales 6,963,500 ringgit. Okay, in arriving of net profit before taxation. So we see the detail what the notes number 1 inform you about the sales amount. Okay, so for the sales amount, it's mentioned that, okay, you include the amount of sale totaling 400,000 for the sales that you make to the Royce Pharmacy, but this sales is made out of the production period. Okay, you already added 6 million 963,500 ringgit, including in this 6,963,500, you include the amount of 210,400 ringgit. Okay, which is this sales is happen after your production period. Kan? Your production period is when? Ended on 31st October 2023. You made the sales on 16 November 2023, which is out of your production period. But you include the amount of sale in total of the year assessment 2023 sales. So this amount should be not taxable in the current year, but it will be taxable in the next year because this is out of your production period for the 2023. So since you already added in the SOCI, so what we have to do in the taxation purpose, we have to exclude the amount out. Okay, we have to minus out the amount. So in the notes number 1, we have sales, which is supposedly this sales is for the year assessment 2024. You already include in the total of sale. So now we want to minus out the amount because it's not subject to the tax for the current period. So we minus out the amount. We record the amount in the minus column to show that this amount is not related to the current period. It's not taxable in the 2023, but supposedly taxable in 2024. We minus out the amount. Kan? Right? 16 November 2023 after your production period. Your production period ended on what? 31st October 2023. You make the sales 16 November 2023, which is for year assessment 2024. That's why it said out of the production period, after production period 2023. Done. Right, number 1. Now we go for the item number 2. We have cost of sale. You already deduct the cost of sale amounting to 1,550,100 ringgit in arriving of net profit before taxation. You already deduct the cost of sale and the result you get the net profit before taxation. Right. So we see the detail what include in the cost of sale. So in the question, it's mentioned that you include 3 items. 3 items in the cost of sale amount. Right. So how you get the cost of sale actually when you learn in the SOCI? So you start with sales minus cost of sale. Right. So include in the cost of sale, right, you have the opening stock plus purchases and then plus 3 items that mentioned in the question minus cost of sale. Then this amount that you record in the SOCI just now. 1,550,100,000 ringgit. So this is the result that you record all the transaction in the cost of sale. So you just only record the total only lah. But in the question it's mentioned that from this total, the question give you 3 items that you have to check whether you make the adjustment or not. One of the item is you include 59,000 of the premium insurance paid to the local company for the imported medicine from the US. Second item that you include in the amount of the cost of sale is 30,721 of the insurance recovered from the stock destroyed imported from Russia. And then third item is the provision of the stock obsolescence 34,100 for the supplements. Right. So from the total of the cost of sale, you include these 3 items. So we have to check for these 3 items whether you have to make the adjustment or not. So we go for the first item, right? Insurance paid. Right? When you pay the insurance, why you pay the insurance? Because you want to protect the product that you import from the US. So this is normal expenditure. This is normal expenditure, revenue expenditure, allowed for deduction. So in the tax computation, we don't have to make another adjustment. Why you don't have to make the adjustment? You already deduct 59,000 ringgit in the total of 1,550,100,000 ringgit. So in the cost of sale, in the cost of sale item, in the tax computation, we have insurance paid. Okay, there is no adjustment needed. So we just record as a nil lah to present that no adjustment needed. You already record in SOCI and the amount is already deduct in arriving of net profit before taxation. So in taxation purpose, we record as a nil to present no adjustment lah. If you make another adjustment, you deduct 2 times for the expenses. Now the expenses is only single deduction sahaja. Okay, that's why you record as a nil. Nil here, why you record in the plus column? Because this is the expenses. And it's the opposite way. I teach before. Okay, if the expenses, so you deduct in SOCI. Okay, so in the taxation, so it will be in the plus column lah. Okay, so second item, you record under the cost of sale, including in the cost of sale, insurance recovery. Okay, so insurance recovery. So you import the stock from Russia, but during the transportation, the stock is destroyed. So you claim the insurance from the insurance company. So you receive the insurance recovery. So this is revenue. Okay, so revenue here related to your stock. So revenue receipt. So when revenue receipt, the amount in the taxation is subject to the tax. You already added the amount 30,721 in SOCI. So in the taxation purpose, you don't have to tax anymore this amount, as this amount is already included in the net profit before taxation. Okay, so insurance recovery. Okay, so there is no adjustment needed. We also record as a nil. Okay, and then third item, we have provision. Okay, so as mentioned before in lecture 8 and tutorial 8, when you see the word provision, if not listed in any specific section, we know that the provision only estimated amount. So it's not satisfied section 33 subsection 1. Thus, in the taxation purpose, this amount is not allowed for the deduction. So we have to add it back. Okay, so we added back 34,100 ringgit. Okay, not allowed for deduction. So in the taxation purpose, added back the amount. Okay, right. So in the question, in the notes number 2, the question only inform about 3 items. So we only record about 3 items lah. Okay, I show you the position of the cost of sale. So this is what you record in the SOCI actually. You just total up the amount in here. Okay, total up here. You total up 1550, 100 ni. Okay, so this is how you get the amount lah. The detail. Right? Okay, so that one is number 2. Now we go for number 3. Okay, so the item in number 3 is other income. Okay, so number 3, other income. You already added the amount of other income totaling 130,600 in arriving of net profit before taxation. So we see the detail what you include in the other income amount. So we have A, we have B, we have C, we have D. Okay, so you have 4 items that you include under other income. Okay, so first one is the unrealized foreign exchange loss. Okay, you include the loss in the total amount of other income. Unrealized foreign exchange loss related to the trade payable. Okay, you paid the amount to your supplier on credit or you purchase the product okay, or the material from your creditor on credit. So that's why it's become trade payable. Okay, but your supplier or creditor is in the other country, so it's related to the foreign exchange. Okay, right. But when you make the transaction, okay, you get the loss. Right, when we have the exchange, you get the losses. Okay, so when it's losses, okay, this is expenses, okay, but why is record under income? Why is record under income? Just to confuse you je. Okay, right? So this transaction is just to confuse you je, whether you understand or not the transaction. So this is the loss. The title that you record, number 3, is income. Okay, but they include the losses under the income. Okay, so you have to know that when it's losses, this is expenses, still expenses. Okay, right. So why is expenses related to the trade payable? We know that this is a revenue expenditure. Why? Because it's related to your product. You purchase the product from your creditor on credit, okay, in the other country. So that's why we have the trade payable and involve the foreign exchange. Okay, so this is revenue expenditure. Okay, so we know that when it's revenue expenditure, supposedly the amount is allowed for deduction. However, the amount is still unrealized. Okay, the amount is still unrealized. So unrealized, which means that you not yet recognize the amount. The amount is not yet finished in the transaction. So in the taxation, when you cannot recognize the amount is not allowed for the deduction. Okay, right? The amount is still not allowed for the deduction. But in the SOCI, you already deduct the amount. When you record in SOCI, we assume that you already deduct or you already plus the amount. But in the taxation, we have to check the detail. Okay, it's mentioned that unrealized foreign exchange loss. So this is revenue expenditure, but the amount is still not yet recognized, as this is amount is not yet finished in the transaction. So in the taxation, the amount is still not allowed for the deduction. So still not allowed for deduction, we have to add it back. Okay, so other income, I put IOI. Okay, so this one, unrealized foreign exchange loss related to the trade payable. Okay, not allowed for deduction. Input TP, trade payable, not enough space. Okay, so not allowed for deduction, right? So we have to edit back 15,000 ringgit. Okay, so number 3A, right? Even though you record under the income, you know that this item is actually expenses. Okay, so that's why when you prepare the tax computation for the company, you have to know whether the item is income or expenses. Okay, sometimes it's income, but they record as expenses. Sometimes this is income, they record under expenses. So you have to know the transaction. Okay, right. So we go for the 3B. Okay, what else income or what else item that you record under the other income? So you record interest received. Okay, you record interest received from the trade debtors charged at the rate 4% on the outstanding balance who's settling their account late. Okay, when the debtors paid you late the amount that they owe, you charge the interest to them. Okay, when you charge the interest to them because of they late paid, so this amount is considered out of the production period. So this amount you cannot record as a revenue receipt, but you have to exclude this amount. You have to assess it separately. Okay, you record as assess separately. At the adjusted business income level, you have to minus out the amount. And you will record another one time under the class of income section 4 subsection C. Okay, because this income is not considered part of the production income because the customer or the debtors paid you late. Okay, so we have to minus out the amount because 9,600 ringgit, Sochi, you already added. Why added? This is income. Okay. But in the adjusted business income level, which is in the tax computation, this is not related to the production. Okay. So at this level, we will minus the income. Okay, we minus out the amount 9,600 ringgit, and it will be recorded again under section 4 subsection C. Okay, under section 4 subsection C as interest income. Okay, now you are calculating section 4A. Right, so if not related to the production, we have to minus out the amount. Later on, we record again under section 4 subsection C. Okay, B. C, right, for C, okay, the company receive interest income from the Merdeka bond issued by Bank Negara Malaysia. So this is another income that the company receive not related to the production but more on the passive source income. So 13,000 ringgit you already added in the SOCI, but in the taxation this is not related to the production. So we have to assess it separately and we record again under section 4 subsection C. Same with the 4B just now lah. Okay, so Merdeka bond 13,000 ringgit will be minus first at the adjusted business income amount. Okay, and we record again under section 4 subsection C. Okay, Merdeka bond this one not enough space Okay. Right, 13,000 ringgit we will record again in the section 4 subsection C. Okay, another income or another amount or item that you record together under the notes number 3, we have dividend income. 123,000 ringgit that the company invested in the local listed company. So the company invests in the local listed company, so they get dividend 123,000 ringgit. So this is another item that not related to the production of the pharmaceutical product. Okay, remember that they are producing pharmaceutical product and supplementary product. So when they invest in the local listed company, this is not related to their production. Okay, so they receive dividend. So this income must be accessed it separately. Okay, so at the adjusted business income level, you have to minus out this amount. And same with the other, okay, income just now, you have to record this under, okay, you have to record this under section 4 subsection C again. Okay. Right, so you will record again under section 4 subsection C as dividend income. Okay, at this level, at adjusted business income level, so dividend income, right, will be assessed separately. We have to take it out the amount from the total of net profit before taxation, and you will record again in the section 4 subsection C together with the interest. So these three items, you will record again in the section 4 subsection C. Okay, number 3. Number 4. Okay, so number 4, what we have? Number 4, we have salary, wages and remuneration. In the SOCI, you already deduct 4 million ringgit in arriving of net profit before taxation. So we see the detail what you include in the SOCI. Okay, what the question list out. Okay, number 4. So number 4, the company and the question listed to you 5 items for the salary, wages and remuneration. Okay, they have 5 items. Okay, so you have to check for all 5 items whether you have to make adjustment or not. So we go for the 4A first. Alright, so including in 4 million ringgit just now, okay, the company include the amount of salary, okay, 2,530,000 ringgit they paid to the salary. Okay, alright. Total salary, wages and remuneration 4 million ringgit. From this amount of salary 4 million ringgit, the company paid the exact salary 2.53 million ringgit. And from this 2.53 million ringgit, the company paid 354,000 ringgit. Okay, 354,000 ringgit to the disabled staff. Okay, and the balance from this 2.53 million ringgit, the company paid the salary to the other staff and the director. Okay, total salary that the company paid 2.53 million ringgit. From this amount, 354,000 the company paid the wages to the disabled staff, and the balance from this amount the company paid to the other staff and the director. Okay, alright. So when the company hired the disabled staff and paid the wages, so the government allowed to deduct double. Okay, the government allowed the company to deduct double expenses. So in the SOCI, 354,000 ringgit already deduct. In the adjusted business income level at the taxation computation, you can deduct one more time for this amount. Okay, so for number 4, I put salary, wages and remuneration. Okay, put shortcut. Right. So first item that we have to record is the wages to the disabled staff. Right. So the company can enjoy double deduction. So double deduction, you can minus one more time lah in the taxation purpose. Okay, so 354,000 ringgit already deduct in SOCI. Another one time, the company can deduct in the tax computation at the adjusted business income level. Okay, 354,000 ringgit. And the other balance of the sales, the other balance of the salary, the company paid to the other staff and the director. So this is normal expenditure lah. Okay, this is normal expenditure because it's related to the production. So the salary to the other staff, okay, and directors, this is revenue expenditure. So allowed for deduction, so no more adjustment needed because it's only single deduction. You already deduct 2,176,000 ringgit in the SOCI. So in the taxation purpose, no more adjustment needed lah because you already deduct the amount in arriving of net profit before taxation. Okay, if you deduct one more time, it's become double deduction, which is this amount is only single deduction. Okay, right, number 4A. Number 4B, the company paid for the entertainment allowance. Okay, as mentioned before in the last week, okay, tutorial 8. When the company paid entertainment allowance, we know that entertainment allowance is part of entertainment expenses. Okay, right? Entertainment allowance is a part of entertainment expenses. Entertainment expenses is actually revenue expenditure, but you have to check whether this type of entertainment expenses listed or not under prohibited deduction section 39 subsection 1. Okay, for the entertainment allowance, right? Yes, entertainment expenses, but this type of entertainment expenses listed under prohibited deduction section 39 subsection 1. So when listed under prohibited deduction section 39 subsection 1, so only 50% allowed for deduction. Okay, only 50% allowed for deduction, meaning that another 50% is not allowed for the deduction. So the company paid the entertainment allowance 203,000 ringgit. Okay, so 50% allowed for deduction, another 50% is not allowed for deduction, so we have to add it back another 50%. Okay, right, you already deduct in SOCI 203,000 ringgit, but in the taxation purpose, in the adjusted business income level, only 101,500 ringgit allowed for deduction. Another 101,500 ringgit is not allowed for deduction, you have to add it back. Okay, so 101,500 ringgit not allowed for deduction, added back the amount. Alright, and then number 4C, we have dental benefit. The company paid for the dental benefit to their employee, totaling 150,000 ringgit for the staff and their immediate family. So this is normal. Majority of the company also provide the dental benefit to their company, to their staff of the company. Alright, so this is normal expenditure. So when it's normal expenditure allowed for the deduction, there is no issue. So we don't have to make any more adjustments. So just we record as a nil. Okay, you already deduct 150,000 ringgit in SOCI. So in the taxation at the adjusted business income level, no more adjustment needed. We record as a nil to present that no adjustment. Okay, right. Number 4D. Okay, so the company make the contribution to the EPF. Okay, the company made the contribution to the EPF 500,000 ringgit. Okay, so last week you learned when the company make the contribution to the EPF, yes, the government allowed for deduction, but according to the section 34 subsection 2, the deduction only allowed to deduct up to 19%. And right? So last week you learned when the company make a contribution to the EPF, yes, allowed for deduction, but according to the section 34 subsection 2, only allowed to deduct 19%. So how we want to know whether the company deduct or make the contribution to the EPF 19%? How we want to know whether how much the company make the contribution 19% or not? So they already contribute, they already deduct the amount 500,000 ringgit. So how we want to know whether 500,000 ringgit is a 19% or not? And so how we want to know? We have to check back the amount of the salary that the company paid just now. So the salary amount, you already know, in the number 4A. Okay, we know total of the salary that the company paid in 4A, 2.53 million ringgit. Okay, 2.53 million ringgit. We already know the amount of salary that the company paid for their staff and director, 2.53 million ringgit. So we time lah 19% to know the limit of the contribution. So when you time 19%, you know that the contribution that the company should make is only 480,700 ringgit. So this is actually the maximum contribution that the government allowed, 480,700 ringgit. Okay, 480,700,000 ringgit. So this is the amount of 19% of the contribution that the government allowed for the deduction. Now, the company make the contribution 500,000 ringgit, which is larger than the limit amount. So, which means that the balance 19,300 ringgit is not allowed for the deduction because the company contribute exceed 19%. So 19,300 ringgit need to be added back. Okay, added back 19,300 ringgit because the company already made the contribution larger than the maximum contribution that the government allowed. Okay, right? The contribution that the company should make 480,700,000 ringgit, but the company made contribution 500,000 ringgit, larger than the maximum amount that the government allowed. So 19,300 ringgit not allowed for deduction, so we have to add it back. Okay, number 4E, we have the company make a contribution to the for the retirement scheme. The company make the contribution for the retirement scheme totaling 367,000 ringgit, but the amount that the company make the contribution is still pending approved by the Inland Revenue Board. But in the SOCI, you already deduct 367,000 ringgit, but in the taxation, we check detail whether approved or not. If not approved, which means that you're not allowed to deduct. Okay, So even though this item is revenue expenditure, satisfied section 33 subsection 1 but still pending for the approval, so this item become non-deductible. So we have to add it back. Okay, so 367,000 ringgit not allowed for deduction because it's still pending for the approval. You have to wait until approved, then you allowed to deduct. Okay, in SOCI you already deduct, but in the taxation at the adjusted business income level, since you not follow the condition, the rules, so not allowed for deduction, we added back the amount. Okay, number 4. Number 5, we have more to go. Okay, number 5, we have promotion. You already deduct in SOCI in arriving of net profit before taxation, 350,000 ringgit. So we see the detail for number 5. Okay, so promotion costs, right? Total deduction promotion cost 500,000 ringgit, including in the 500,000 ringgit for the promotion cost. Okay, you include 2 items. Okay, right? 330,000 ringgit for promoting sample of supplementary product. Okay, one, and then another one is a 12,000 ringgit of hampers to the suppliers. So promotion cost, okay, promotion cost is part of the entertainment expenses. Okay, promotion cost is part of entertainment expenses. Okay, so entertainment expenses, as mentioned before, this is revenue expenditure. But you have to check whether this type of entertainment expenses listed or not under prohibited deduction section 39 subsection 1. If not listed, then 100% allowed for the deduction. So when the company prepare the sample for the promotion, 330,000 ringgit, this is the entertainment expenses, normal expenditure, but this type of entertainment expenses not listed under prohibited deduction section 39 subsection 1. So the sample promotion 330,000 ringgit, no issue, allowed for the deduction. You already deduct in SOCI, so in the taxation purpose, no more deduction needed. Okay, promotion cost, I put PC, promotion cost. Okay, sample promotion. Okay, right, allowed for deduction as this amount is not listed under prohibited deduction. So we record as a nil to present that this amount is already deducted in SOCI and this amount not yet no need to have any more adjustment in the tax computation at the adjusted business income level. Okay, another item that you include under number 5, okay, is a hampers to the suppliers. So hampers to the supplier also part of entertainment expenses, revenue expenditure, but okay, this type of entertainment expenses listed under prohibited deduction section 39 subsection 1. So when listed under prohibited deduction section 39 subsection 1, so does only 50% allowed for the deduction. Another 50% not allowed for deduction, so we have to add it back the 50% of the amount that you already deduct in SOCI. In SOCI, you deduct 12,000 ringgit. In the taxation, okay, since it's listed under prohibited deduction section 39 subsection 1, so only 50% from this amount allowed for deduction. Another 50% not allowed for deduction, so we have to add it back 6,000 ringgit. Okay, so 6,000 ringgit will be added back. Okay, number 5. Number 6, we have what we have? Number 6. Number 6, we have repair and maintenance. You already deduct in SOCI in arriving of net profit before taxation, 61,000 ringgit. So we see the detail for number 6. Okay, so number 6, we have repair and maintenance, including in the total of 61,000 ringgit, we have 3 items. Okay, we have 3 items that the question listed to you in number 6. So you have to check one by one for these 3 items that listed in the number 6 whether you have to make the adjustment or not. Right. So first item is maintenance of the childcare center, 9,000 ringgit. Second item is renovation of the lavatory to assist the disabled staff, 35,000 ringgit. And third item is the upgrade the machinery, 12,000 ringgit. Okay, so we check one by one. We start with the maintenance of the childcare center. Maintenance of the childcare center, you spend 9,000 ringgit. So maintenance of the childcare center, this is actually revenue expenditure, normal expenditure. But this item listed under specific section. Section 34, subsection 6, subsection I, where the government allowed for double deduction. This is revenue expenditure, normal, but this is listed under specific section, where in the specific section, the government allowed for double deduction. So, 9,000 ringgit already deduct in the SOCI. So, in the taxation at the adjusted business income level, you can deduct one more time. Okay, number 6, we have repair and maintenance. Okay, I put repair and maintenance, RM. Okay, so first item is maintenance of the childcare center. Okay, childcare center, alright. So allowed for double deduction. So another 9,000 ringgit allowed for deduction. So we record N in the minus column. Okay, can deduct one more time in the taxation. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Okay, right. So second item is renovation of the lavatory for the disabled staff. Okay, renovate the lavatory. This is capital expenditure, yeah. Okay, this is capital expenditure, but this item is listed under specific section, section 34 sub 6 sub E. Special deduction, okay, where the government allowed for the deduction. Not double deduction, but single deduction. Because this one is actually capital expenditure. Okay, when you make the renovation to of the lavatory, this is capital expenditure actually, but the government allowed for deduction, okay, under specific section, section 34 sub 6 sub E. So, in the taxation purpose, right, you allowed to deduct, but in the taxation, there is no more adjustment needed lah because you already deduct in SOCI. So, in the taxation purpose, no more adjustment needed. Okay, so I just wrote here, renovation, lavatory, okay, assist the disabled staff. Okay, so we record as a nil to present that no adjustment needed as the amount is already deducted in the SOCI. Okay, and then another one item in number 6 is upgrading the asset machinery. Okay, upgrade machinery, this is totally capital expenditure and not listed in any of specific section. So we can conclude that this amount not allowed for the DHM, we added back 12,000 ringgit. Okay, in Sochi you already deduct 12,000, but in the tax computation not allowed for the deduction, added back 12,000 ringgit. Okay, for your information, question number 1 and question number 2 in the tutorial 9 ni, this is past year question. The one that you answer here is a past year question. I just edit some of it to to fit with the tutorial. Okay, but the base is actually this is tutorial. This is a past year question. So this is a standard question lah for the final letter. Okay, this is standard question lah. Okay, right. Number 7, you have the depreciation. Okay, total amount of depreciation that you already deduct in Sochi 52,000 ringgit. So from this 52,000 ringgit, the question listed to you 3 items. Okay, 52,000 ringgit you already deduct in Sochi. The question listed to you 3 items. How you get 52,000? So first item were made from 75,000 ringgit depreciation, 1,500 ringgit for the loss on disposal of machinery, and the balance was gain on disposal of long-term investment. How to get the amount of the gain on the disposal? How to get the amount of gain on disposal? The amount in the Sochi is already given 52,000 ringgit. This is amount provided in Sochi, 52,000 ringgit. From 52,000 ringgit, the question said that 75,000 ringgit is actually the real depreciation amount. 1,500 ringgit come from the loss on disposal of machinery. And the balance is for the gain on disposal for the long-term investment. Question is, how much is the amount of this? Can someone calculate for me? How much is the amount of the gain on the disposal? Okay, remember that you are recording 52,000 ringgit as the expenses. Okay, depreciation, expenses. Loss is also expenses, but the gain, this one is revenue. Okay, so the amount here should be in the negative amount because this is a gain. And you record as expenses, but you include one of the item as revenue. Okay, so to differentiate it, you have to make the column lah there. Right, anyone can get the amount for me? Can? It's a mathematic lah actually. Anyone can get the amount? Can not? Can get? The total should be 52,000 ringgit. But how much is the amount of the gain on disposal? Anyone can get 24,500 ringgit? Okay, remember that these two is expenses, this one is the revenue. Okay, this one should be minus. And total you get 52,000. So if you want to start from the below, so 52,000, minus lah back the amount. Reverse order. So you get lah 24,500 ringgit. Okay, so later on maybe you can try back how to get the 24,500 ringgit. So now we are we want to record these three items. So depreciation expenses is given 75,000 ringgit. So in the SOCI, you already deduct 75,000 ringgit. But we know that depreciation in the taxation adjusted business income level not allowed for deduction due to the amount is not satisfied section 33 subsection 1. It's only estimated amount, right? Okay. So I put here as depreciation. So first item is the real depreciation amount. Okay, not allowed for deduction, right? 75,000 ringgit plus. Okay. Loss on disposal of machinery. This is capital expenditure. Loss on disposal of machinery. Machine kan asset. When you dispose, you get the losses. So this is capital expenditure. So capital expenditure in the taxation, of course, if not listed in any specific section, thus the result is not allowed for the deduction. So loss on disposal for machinery. Okay, added back 1,500 ringgit. Okay, 1,500 ringgit. And then we have another one item in number 7, gain on disposal. Okay, long-term investment. Okay, long-term investment. So this is the capital receipt. Okay, why capital receipt? You dispose long-term investment. This is asset, but when you dispose, you get the gain. So this is a capital receipt. CR, capital receipt. So in the taxation, we know that the capital receipt is not subject to the tax. Okay. So 24,500 ringgit you already added in the SOCI. What I said added, this is gain. Okay, what I said added, this is a gain. So in the SOCI, when you have the revenue, you just added it. Okay. So you already added 24,500 ringgit, but in the taxation, this is capital receipt. So the amount is not subject to the tax. So we have to minus out the amount. Okay, 24,500 ringgit, you have to minus out the amount. Okay, 24,500 ringgit. Okay, number 8, we have the rental. Okay, number 8, we have a rental, 38,000 ringgit. You already deduct in SOCI, right? But we see what is number 8. Number 8 is actually, it's very easy. Tapi because of the company paid the rental not in the first month of the month. Kan, basically we paid the rental first day of the month. 1st January, 1st February, 1st May, 1st March, okay. But now the company paid the rental starting in the middle of the month. Okay, they paid the rental 30,000 ringgit for 6 months, but they start paid on 16 June 2023. Okay, they paid the rental, I show here. Okay, they paid the rental starting on 16 June 2023 for 6 months. So they paid for the first rental 16 June 2023 until 15 July 2021. 2023 month. Okay. Second month, 16 July 2023 until 15 August 2023. Second month. Third month, 16 August until 15 September. Third month. Okay. Fourth month, 16 September until 15 October. Fourth month. Okay. Fifth month, 16 October until 15 November. Okay. And then 6th month, 16 November until 15 November. So the problem is they paid the rental in the middle of the month. So it's a little bit confused lah. Right? Kan? If you paid the rental normal 1st January, 1st February, kan? 1st March, April, normal lah. Kan? But now they paid the rental in the middle. So little bit confused lah. Actually it's a normal sahaja. Kan? But right, when they paid the rental for 6 months, okay, you will notice that the payment of the rental that the company paid 1 month and half is not for the year assessment 2023. Remember that your accounting period is from 1st November 2023 until 31st October 2023. This is the accounting period and production period for the company. Now you pay the rental until 16 December 2023. You realize that the payment of the rental 1.5 month is not in the year 2023. And for the fifth month, starting from fifth month, half month in 2023, half month in the year assessment 2024. And for the 6 month of the rental, totally up for the accounting period, which is totally this one is for 2024. So you know that the payment of the rental here, 1.5 months not in the year 2023. So, right, we have to exclude the amount of the rental that you already paid for 2024. Okay, how we want to know? You paid the rental 30,000 ringgit for 6 months. So 1 month you paid 5,000 ringgit. Okay, so we know already 1.5 months is not for the year assessment 2023. So, we time up 1.5 months, we know that 7,500 ringgit is not the rental for 2023. So, we have to add back the amount. Because in the total, can you paid 30,000. Okay, the rental you paid 30,000 total. Okay, for 6 months. And you pay for 6 months. But you know that 1.5 months not in the year assessment 2023. So we added back lah 1.5 months here, okay, which is not related to the production 2023. Okay, because total in the Sochi 30,000 ringgit, but 7,500 ringgit not belong to the expenses in 2023. So we have to add it back. Okay, number 8, rental. Okay, so rental, we added back 7,500 ringgit. Okay, later on when you see the base of the question, you don't have to draw like this lah. This one I just to explain to you lah. So later on you just make it like this lah. 30,000 times for 6 months. You should know how many months that not for the year assessment 2023. So you just time 1.5 month. So you add it back lah, 7,500 ringgit. Okay. Right. Okay, that was the number 8. Okay, number 9, we have bad and doubtful debts. So total of the bad and doubtful debt that you already deduct in Sochi is 49,000 ringgit. Okay, so from this 49,000 ringgit, the question listed to you 3 items. This one is similar with the number 7 just now. Okay, the concept is similar with number 7 just now. Okay, so 49,000 ringgit you already record as the expenses. This is the amount that given in the Sochi, 49,000 ringgit. From this 49,000 ringgit, you record as a bad debt recover 15,000, bad debt expenses 21,000 ringgit, and the balance is for the increase in general provision. So you have to find the amount of the increase in general provision. Anyone can get it for me? How much is the amount of increase in general provision? How much? Anyone? Increase in general provision, expenses or revenue? Increase kan? When you learn increase in general provision is expenses, right? And if decrease in general provision, so should be revenue. Okay, this one is you have to apply back what you learn in the BA1, BA2 lah, or FAF1 or FAF2. Okay, right? Increase in general provision, expenses or revenue? Expenses. Right. So 49,000 ringgit plus back with the 15,000 minus 21,000, you should get 43,000 ringgit. Can get 43,000 ringgit? Okay, already know 43,000 ringgit for the increase in general provision. Okay, so now we have to record lah the item, right? So for the first item, you have bad debt recovered. Bad debt recovered is the revenue. That's why I put the column there to differentiate the amount that this is actually the revenue. Okay, so bad debt recovered is revenue. Okay, and this is revenue receipt. Why is revenue receipt? Because it's involved the debtor. And you sell the goods to your debtor on credit. After many attempts, you try to collect back the debts from the debtor. You give up, you write off, and then suddenly the debtor's coming back and you receive the payment, okay, from them. So 15,000 is revenue receipt. So in the taxation, revenue receipt is the amount that we subject to the tax. Okay, so bad debt and doubtful debt number 9, put as a BD. Okay, bad debt and doubtful debts. All right. So first is a bad debt recover. Okay, so the amount is not subject to the tax as is a revenue receipt. Okay, so in the minus column, we just record as a nil because 15,000 ringgit you already added in the SOCI. Why added? This is revenue. In SOCI, you already added the amount. Okay, and in the taxation purpose, no adjustment needed. If you add 15,000 ringgit one more time, you tax this amount 2 times, which is supposedly only tax 1 time lah, because 15,000 ringgit already include in the total of net profit before taxation. Okay, second item in the bad debt, bad and doubtful debts is a bad debt expenses. So bad debt expenses is revenue expenditure, normal expenses, but already deduct in the SOCI in arriving of net profit before taxation, so no adjustment needed. Okay, bad debt expenses, right? So no adjustment needed, just look at as a nil lah. Okay, you already done in SOCI and that's enough in the SOCI because the amount is already totaling in the net profit before taxation. Okay, and then another one item in number 9, increase in general provision. Increase in general provision. So we see the word key point provision. Kan? If provision, we know that it's only estimated amount. Kan? If provision is not listed in any specific section, we can conclude the amount is not allowed for the deduction. So increase in general provision. Expenses. Alright, this is expenses but not satisfied section 33 subsection 1. So increase in general provision. Okay, not allowed for deduction, added back the amount. Same if you have decrease in general provision, so it's opposite lah. Okay, not subject to the tax. Right? This one is an increase revenue, expenditure. Okay, if you have decrease in general provision, should be its opposite lah. Okay, it's opposite, so it's not subject to the tax. Okay, now we go for number 10. We have the professional fees. Okay, professional fees. So professional fees, okay, the amount that you already deduct in SOCI, how much? 30,000 ringgit. So including in 30,000 ringgit, okay, the question listed to you 3 items. One is the payment to get the certificate of recognition, 19,000 ringgit. Okay, second payment, the company made 4,500 ringgit for the general secretary fee plus the tax filing fee. And then third payment is 3,900 ringgit for the secretarial fee as well, but to increase the share capital. So 3 items, different items. Okay, right, but they include under the level professional fee. Okay, so we go for the first one, certificate for the recognition to get the standard quality and halal, right? So this one is listed under specific section, section 34 sub 6 sub A, sub MA, where the government allowed for double deduction. Okay, so professional fee, right, to get the certificate. Okay, so certificate. You write, you write first. These are stuck already. Okay, professional fees. Okay, double deduction. So you can deduct one more time 19,000 ringgit in the SOCI. Okay, and then second payment is for the secretarial fee plus tax filing fee, 4,500 ringgit. So the company paid 4,500 ringgit for the two reasons, which is 3,000 paid for the general secretarial fee. Okay, another 1,500 ringgit come from the tax filing fee. Okay, so if the company want to pay for these two reasons, general secretarial fee plus tax filing fee, yes, the government allowed to deduct under the public ruling 162/2020. The limitation is up to 15,000 ringgit. Okay, the government allowed to deduct for the general secretarial fee plus tax filing fee up to 15,000 ringgit. So the company only paid 4,500 ringgit below the amount of maximum. So all of the amount allowed for the deduction. Okay, so no issue for this one. So both allowed for the deduction. So general secretarial fee, okay, plus tax filing fee, right, allowed for deduction. So we just record as a nil because the amount is below the maximum amount. If you paid 16,000 ringgit, so we added back 1,000 lah. Okay, but now you only paid 4,500 ringgit. The limit is 15,000 ringgit, so all the amount allowed for the deduction. Okay, another payment that the company made in the number 10 is 3,900 ringgit. So this one is also for secretarial fee. But the reason why the company paid the secretarial fee is to increase the share capital. When you want to increase the share capital, okay, this is capital expenditure lah. So it's capital expenditure, not listed in any specific section, so the amount is not allowed for the deduction. Okay, we added back 3,900 ringgit. Okay. Okay, this one is a secretarial fee to increase the share capital. Okay, this one is a capital expenditure not allowed for deduction, added back 3,900 ringgit. Okay, added back 3,900 ringgit. Okay, number 11, we have miscellaneous expenses where the company claim the insurance because one of the cashier, right, stole the money. Okay, right, involved in the embezzlement by its cashier at their retail shop. So they lost the money, 34,000 ringgit. So the company claimed back the insurance. And then when the company claim back the insurance, they already get the amount. So they already record the transaction in the SOCI. Okay, they lost the money, they claim back from the insurance company, they already get the amount. So the amount is subject to the tax because this is revenue receipt. Why this is revenue receipt? Because you have to remember like this, when it's involved the cashier. So cashier is part of the production process because we need cashier to produce or to sell your product in the retail shop. So they are part of the production. Okay, so when you lost the money because of the cashier, okay, you can deduct the amount. And then when you deduct the amount, when you claim the amount from the insurance company, the amount is subject to the tax. But if let's say, right, the embezzlement is done by the director or manager, You can deduct the amount, but you cannot claim back the amount from the insurance company because, right, director and manager is not part of the production. They monitor us to work. Okay, so it's a different tier lah. Okay, if done by the cashier, normal workers that involved in the production, so when they stole money, you can write off as the expenses, and then you can claim the insurance. Okay, when you claim the insurance, because it's allowed for deduction, so of course the amount is subject to the tax. Okay, but if let's say done by the director of manager, okay, even though you deduct the amount as you write off as an amount as a expenses, but where you cannot claim for the insurance because it's director and the manager is not part of the production. Okay, so when you have the embezzlement, you have to see lah who done the embezzlement, cashier ke, director ke, manager, right? So for number 11, since it's done by the cashier, which is part of the production, right, there is no issue. After you get the amount of the insurance, you already record the amount and the amount is already added in the SOCI. Okay, so for miscellaneous expenses, okay, miscellaneous expenses for the embezzlement, okay, you already received the amount of the insurance, you already added the amount in the SOCI, so there is no more adjustment needed. Okay, the amount is already added, include in the net profit before taxation. Right, so now we go for the last item, number 12. Okay, right, donation. This one is basically the student confused lah. Okay, donation. So donation, the company made 2 donation. One is to the library, another one, A and B. A is donation made to the library. We go for library first for A. Okay, and then B is donation made to the approved institution. Okay, the company made the donation to the library. You have to remember that when the company made the donation to the library or any place, you have to know that donation is not the production transaction. Okay, donation is not the production transaction. Okay, donation is capital expenditure. Okay, so basically it's not allowed for the deduction. But since the government want to encourage the company to make the donation, so the government allowed to deduct. Okay, some of the donation allowed to deduct at the adjusted business income level according to the section 34. Some of the donation allowed to deduct at the aggregate income level according to the section 44. Okay, but you have to remember that all donation is capital expenditure because this is not trading transaction, it's not production transaction. But some of it, as I mentioned just now, allowed by the government to deduct because the government want encourage them to donate lah to the institution. Okay, so the company now donate to the UPM Malaysian Library. Okay, right, University Putra Malaysia Library. Okay, it's a local institution, right? So we know that, as I mentioned just now, donation is not a part of the trading transaction, so not allowed for deduction. But when the company made donation to the public library, okay, so the government allowed to deduct either at the adjusted business income level according to the section 34 sub 6 sub G, okay, or you can deduct according to the section 44 sub 8. Okay, as mentioned before, right, if you have 2 optional, either you can deduct at the section 34 sub 6 sub G, why you cannot wrap? Okay, right, if you have the 2 option, you can read, right? Okay, never mind lah. Okay, so if they have the 2 options, either section 34 sub 6 sub G or section 44A, you directly choose to deduct at the section 34 sub 6 sub G, where you can deduct directly at the adjusted business income level. Okay, you can directly deduct at the adjusted business income level, right? So at the adjusted business income level here, okay, for the donation, okay, for the donation, UPM's library, okay, so we refer to the section 34 sub 6. Okay, you refer to the section 34 sub 6 sub G. Okay, so the donation made to the PUPM library, RM35,300. The maximum amount that the company can make donation to the library, okay, is up to RM100,000. Okay, RM100,000. But the company only made RM35,300. So all the amount allowed for the deduction. Okay, all the amount allowed for the deduction. Okay, so this donation, right, allowed to deduct according to the section 34 sub 6 sub G. So the maximum amount is up to RM100,000. So the donation is only made to the by the company RM35,300. Okay, ayah. Oh, here lah. Okay. Ni lah. Okay, I cannot write this one. Okay, we go for the second donation. The company made donation to the approved institution. Oh, yeah. Okay, the company made donation to the approved institution. Same, donation is not part of the trading transaction, okay, or production transaction. So donation is the capital expenditure. But the government allowed donation that the company made to the approved institution, you allowed to deduct at the aggregate income level according to the section 44 subsection 6. Okay, which means that you can deduct against the aggregate income. So, which means that at the adjusted business income level, this type of donation is not allowed for the deduction. So, donation to the approved institution, okay, you deduct both type, cash and in kind. Okay, cash and in kind. Okay, food donation is in kind donation lah. Right, so cash donation at the adjusted business income level, not allowed for deduction. So we have to edit back the amount. In-kind donation at the adjusted business income level, also not allowed for deduction. We have to edit back RM5,000. Okay, and then later on, okay, these two donation will be recorded again under the aggregate income. Okay, UPM library, we already settled because you already allowed to deduct at the adjusted business income level. But for donation to the approved institution, since only allowed to deduct at the aggregate income level, so these two items will be appear again at the aggregate income level. So now we already done for the adjustment. So you will total up the both column, plus column and minus column. So this is the amount that you get. Okay, plus column and minus column. And then you you minus out the amount, plus column minus the minus column, you get the difference amount, okay, RM13,300. Okay, RM13,300. And then plus back with the net profit before taxation just now, RM801,700. Then you get lah adjusted income amount. Okay, you get the adjusted income amount. Okay, you should get 815. Okay, 815, and then minus capital allowance. You learned just last week. You learned yesterday capital allowance. So this is the amount of capital allowance lah that you get. Okay, so capital allowance minus the amount, RM36,600. Then now you get lah total of section 4 subsection 8. Okay, you get 778,400. Okay, 778,400 ringgit after you deduct capital allowance. Now, remember that we have 3 items that we want to record again here, the green color one. So now it's time for you to record again these 3 items as a section 4, subsection C, for the interest and dividend income. Kan? That's why I said that excise separately. We record under the class of different income. Okay, so we have 3 income just now, right? Interest from the late payment, okay, of the debtors. Okay, interest from the Merdeka bond. Okay, and then dividend income. Right, again, so this one is under section 4, subsection C. Okay, right. So interest late from the payment of the debtors under section 4, subsection C is subject to the tax. So 9,600 subject to the tax. No exemption. Okay, interest from Merdeka bond for the company also no exemption, subject to the tax. 13,000. Dividend income, all the shareholders receive. Okay, all the shareholders receive dividend income is exempted from the tax. Okay, doesn't matter lah you are individual or the company. If you are shareholders, so it will be exempted from the tax. Okay, right. So total up the amount, bring the amount here. Okay, and then section 4A plus C, you get the aggregate income, 801,000 ringgit. Okay, and then 801,000 ringgit. Remember that we have 2 donation there just now. Donation to the approved institution. Okay, we have cash donation and we have in-kind donation. Okay, when you make donation to the approved institution, in-kind donation not allowed for deduction. So I put nil. Okay, in-kind donation automatically not allowed for deduction. Refer to here, that one. Okay, but for the cash donation, yes, allowed for deduction, but only restricted to 10% of the aggregate income. Okay, only allowed to deduct at the aggregate income 10%. So 10% of the aggregate income, you have 801,000 ringgit. Okay, right? 10% from 801,000 ringgit. So 80,100. You donate how much? The cash, 85,000 ringgit. And you donate the cash, 85,000 ringgit. 10% from the aggregate income, only 100,000 ringgit. So the amount of the cash that allowed for reduction, only 801. So sad this one. Okay, right, this one. 80.1. This amount. And then total up the amount, bring here. Then the aggregate income minus the donation. It's a stuck in my iPad, stuck. Okay. Then you get lah chargeable income 70,900 ringgit. Okay. 80.1. Okay. Total 80.1. So aggregate income minus the chargeable, minus the donation, you get the chargeable income. Okay, you make donation 85,000 ringgit, but the donation only allowed 10% of the aggregate income. So 10% of the aggregate income, 10% times 801,000 ringgit, only allowed to deduct 100,000 ringgit. Okay, then you get the chargeable income. So now, after you get the chargeable income, you go back to the first paragraph to determine the tax rate that the company available to times. Okay, so firstly, you have to check the paid up ordinary share capital at the beginning of the period, 2.45 million ringgit, and we check the annual sales, right? So both of these condition, okay, paid up ordinary share capital 2.5 million ringgit, and then annual sales is only 6.9 million ringgit. So the company allowed to use this tax rate. So I write here. You cannot write. Okay, so the company allowed to deduct according to this rate, tax rate. So I just write here. Okay, so first, okay, RM 150,000 times 15%. Okay, you have 2 to 500 per a second or next. Okay, 450 times 17% and the balance, okay, 120, 900 times 24%. So you get here, then you get the amount. Alright. Okay. Okay, done. Alright. So scan your attendance. This one is a Wednesday, 9:30. Okay. Okay. Alright, so I think that's all for today. Thank you very much. Sorry for taking your time.